everyone, Kat here, your favorite ginger bibliophile, and your favorite little co-host, Lil Man, making an appearance here. So, I hope y'all are doing well. Come on up. Come on, here we go. He's my little man. You, oh, thank you. I love you too. Oh, you're a good boy. Well, this is gonna make it a little more complicated, because I've got a hopefully fun one for you today about what we'll be reading in the next, well, I'd say the next month, but one of these books that I'm going to show you will probably take me a month. But if you've been following me for a while, first off, thank you. But also, I have started a lot of series over the last, 2 years now that I have been on BookTube. And I have not finished most of them. So this is kind of a TBR, kind of not, because, I'm not going to just get these done in the next month. And also, I'm in the middle of two other books. One for the adaptation from book to screen series that I want to delve into more, and one that I actually started last year and still have not finished because it's a collection of essays, not so much a novel, which is not my usual thing. So I've been reading it very piecemeal. But I do have a couple series that I really want to finish. I really liked these series. There's not a whole lot of them left. And I managed to get them on Book Outlet for, not too bad a while ago. And that might cue y'all into at least some of the books that I am going to be finishing, because I did a very excited video about that. So we'll start off with the ones that are the most familiar, which is The Two Lost Mountains and One Impossible Labyrinth. These are the last two books in the Jack West Jr. series, which, if y'all don't know, that's kind of been my fill-in between Sigma Force novels, along with the Chris Kuznesky Jones and Payne series. And these are basically, there's 7 books in the series, starting with Seven Deadly Wonders, and then we go through until we get the One Impossible Labyrinth, which is basically, so far this series has been the cosmos hate us and want to wipe out humanity because, and so they have to find ways to, like, deflect this energy or whatever that is going to, like, destroy the world, along with fighting off bad guys that are either we get to be the heroes and get the prize for, saving the universe. Because, there's always some catch to it of, hey, we can make money off of this, or if we're not going to get rich, screw the world, we might as well all die if we're not going to make money. And so they have to fight the bad guys and, like, the cosmos. And there was a major twist at the end of the last book, which I will not spoil that for you if you choose to read the series, because it is just complete nonsense, but it's action-packed, travel the world, get into adventures, fun. But the ending of the last one ticked me off, because it was more than unbelievable. Like, really? That twist? You just didn't want to end the series. You wanted a happy ending. So I was mad at him, but I want to see how he's gonna, like, pretend that that was a legit thing and finish the last two. So I'm excited to read these. So, yay! And I know somebody else that will be reading those. Hi, Matthew! I know he has those books because I told him to go get them, because we both loved that series. We kind of bonded over that and James Rollins. I was like, we've been looking for these forever. These are not the US covers. You cannot find these in the US. They're all boring, like, bland white paperbacks that actually cost more than I paid for these two hardbacks. But I love these. So, yep. When he reads these, I can't wait for us to be talking about them. And I blame you for the next books I'm going to read, like you blame me for finding those. Because, well, okay, it's not the end of the series, but again, I have 2 books. These are part of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the, Galaxy. I read the first book off his recommendation, and it was nonsensical, just fun, which is what I need right now. So I read that one, which really is, it was just Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but it's by Douglas Adams. And then I have Life, the Universe, and Everything, which I think is the second one, or maybe this is the second one. It's The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. These are not in the best of shape. I got them a couple months ago at a random bookstore where I attempted to do a vlog like most people do, and I just, yeah, I feel weird like filming like all this stuff in a store with like people around. Like, it's a bookstore. You're supposed to be, it's kind of like a library, but you get to take them home for money and you don't have to worry about like, oh crap, I don't have time to finish it, so it's okay that I got 20 books. But yeah, it was that bookstore with the kitties. But yep, I think I got each of these for like $1 a pop because they're little tiny fun things. So hopefully these make me giggle as much as the last two. And they think there's 4 books in this series. 5? Yeah, 5, but I think the 5th one isn't like as known or something. I think there was like a weird thing to do with the 5th one. So I've got not quite finished that series, but get a lot farther in it. And yes, y'all might hear some music. I don't know how well it's going to come through in the video, but I got a Harry Potter soundtrack in the background because, dude, why not? I love me some Harry Potter. I would show you the cool blanket that I have, but little man is currently over there wiggling his little booty with the tail wagging and fighting the blankie because it is cold here. So I got my Hocus Pocus sweatshirt, and there's lots of blankies all over, and he's playing in them. Oh, is you coming back from round 2, Levies? Okay. And because, well, this isn't really the right time for it, but the last book in the Dean Koontz series from Frankenstein, The Dead Town. Not his, but like last year was not a good year for Dean Koontz reading. Some of them were okay, most were letdowns, which is a shame because like Dean Koontz is like my go-to horror guy. Normally, I freaking love him. I want to do a read through of everything I have by him and still continue my collection. But I don't know when we get to that because yeah, I have 80 books still on my TBR. And actually, when you see that video, I just now realized that I miscounted because yeah, I said 80, and that is almost what I have left. But I'm currently reading 2, and I finished 5 this year. So I started last year with 60, and I ended the year with 87 after reading 47. So I might have a book buying problem. Oopsie. It could be worse though. It could be not books. So it could be worse. It's only books. And I will read them all again, except for the ones that I didn't like and got rid of or I'm going to get rid of. But that's another video. Dun dun dun. A teaser for something coming up? Maybe. Probably. I wasn't planning on that, but I'm going to take it. So, yeah. This is Frankenstein, and it is exactly what you think. Somebody, like, playing God and trying to make humans. And basically, well, except for he doesn't just want to make one. He wants to make, like, a whole race that will, like, serve him as he is the new god of the universe, and he is immortal. And except for that, he's not because, well, it's a 5-book series, and he's got a god complex. He cannot make it to the end because that's not how books work. But we'll see. Like there is an interesting twist at the end of the 4th one, but in case you decide to read this, I'm not gonna tell y'all what that is. I'm just gonna let you look at the cute puppy, and we'll go on to the next book, which should really not be surprising. Banished from the Storymaker series, cause y'all already know. Yep, I love my creepy stuff. Yo, note all these skulls and bats on the wall and the hocus pocus, which isn't really creepy, but it's still witches, and I've loved them since I was 6 years old and saw that movie for the first time. But this is, it's a fairy tale retelling. It's kind of like if Disney and Wizard of Oz collided. Like you've got a curse, you've got some very like royalty and some of the other stories. Like we basically got Robin Hood. It was the last book, which had a really nice twist to that. And some King Arthur going on. I love the way that they cuss in this because this is very much a like middle grade like YA kind of novel of instead of certain words they say spelled in cutesy kind of words that sound similar to what we say when we're not supposed to. So of course, y'all know I'm not really a romance girl, but I love me some fairy tales, and they always have a bit of a romance in them. But this is my kind of romance. Of it's not, it's there, but it's kind of the background subplot. There's snark, there's monsters. I'm not sure who's going to be in this one, but we just I gotta know. I mean, our main princess had like a Wizard of Oz curse, and we have a Toto-ish character who is her like boyfriend of sorts. So yeah, and she's all about the fashion, and she ran off with the female version of Robin Hood, except for she like Robin Hood hates our main character because main character is a spoiled princess and Robin Hood was, working the kitchens and stuff. And we gotta fight the evil witch that started the curse on their family. And yeah, Rexy's got a lot going on for her. And I'm excited to finish this trilogy. And then we have Awesome All of Our Demise, which is the sequel to what I believe this is only supposed to be a duology. The first one was All of Us Villains, that one of my awesome coworkers uh, gave me because she ordered some books. The wrong ones got sent. They told her to keep them, so these are not her style, so she passed them on to me. And normally this is not my kind of book either. This is like very dystopian, which I tend to go that no, I'm trying to escape the badness of the world by reading books. That's a bit dark for a not horror, but I actually really liked it. It ended kind of on a actually hopeful sort of message. Still definitely like dark and messed up and family drama, but it's magic. It's hopeful. Like all the rings there on the hand are actually like supposed to be charms to help them survive. So I'm curious how this is going to end. And now I can find out because I have the last book in the series, so I can finish that series. And then the book that is going to take me probably all month because I am not a fantasy girly. I'm like a urban fantasy paranormal. This is straight up fantasy, and look at that chunks. This is, how big is this boy? Let's see. My fingers would work. 572. Nope, that's acknowledgements. Never mind. That's not actually that length. It is 565 pages. It looks chunkier than that, but that is kind of thick paper. But this is a full blown high fantasy. It's the third book in the Imperium trilogy, which apparently y'all like, because one of my like highest viewed videos of all time on this channel was when I told y'all about Fury Born that I actually found on Kindle Unlimited, which is the first book in this series. Whether it's still on Kindle Unlimited, I don't know. It has been quite a while. I think that was actually one of my earlier books and earlier videos in starting booktube. And then there was Kingsbane that I read last year. And then I got my hands on this one. And this is basically like we got like two timelines going from vastly different eras. Like we have the Sun Queen, and then we have her daughter, who has been like snatched and taken through time to kind of like save her from the angel. And yes, you heard me right. The angels are the bad guys in this series. They tried to destroy the world because they were mad at humanity. And they were supposed to be the Sun Queen and the Blood Queen. And we find out pretty much at the beginning of the first book that the Sun Queen becomes the Blood Queen. And yeah, the Blood Queen, if the name doesn't give it away, is bad. She has been corrupted by the angels and like turned to the dark side. But how that happens and what is going to be the outcome of that, we don't know. That's what these, next two books, well, and most of the first one are about, is how does she go from we love her, she's going to save us, to she gonna kill us all. And like, what the heck? Angels are evil and trying to kill humanity. I love that. But it is kind of a, time travel. If we get her storyline, we get her powerful daughter's storyline from a long time ago, where, her mother is just like legend. They just know the world is still in a lot of trouble. So, yeah, I am terrified and excited about this. So, those are some of the books that I will be reading. I'm also currently in reading this. Haha! Yeah, you're just getting a little teaser. Now you're gonna have to come back and see exactly what that is of my which book am I reading first to compare to the movies. Because it is an old school movie that most of y'all probably don't even know. Because I'm not sure when the movie initially came out, but it was sometime in the 80s. But yep, there's your little teaser, and I will see you in the next video. We'll say bye bye, little man. Bye. Happy reading.